What's up everybody and welcome back to Weekly Retro Stuff, where we cover a brief highlight of cool things going on in the retro communities across the internet, with new episodes coming out on Fridays. Unfortunately, I did miss last week due to some life events. I also had a wisdom tooth pulled and that's still kind of annoying. But this is episode 44, so let's jump right into it. Battletoads is largely considered to be one of the most difficult games on the NES. Developed by Rare and published by TradeWest, the game is known for its challenging gameplay, unique art style, and memorable characters. Many have put in the time to beat the game, but few have put in the work to do it fast. A runner named X-Ray662 has had the any % no wrong warp record since April 19, 2020, with a time of 12 minutes, 33 seconds, and 753 milliseconds. The any % no wrong warp category means the player can use glitches and exploits, with the exception of wrong warps. Not to be confused with the warp holes that exist in the game as a mechanic, a wrong warp is when players perform tricks that allow them to bypass large portions of the game. In Battletoads, there is a wrong warp in the turbo tunnel that allows you to skip directly to the end of the game. Using this, you can beat Battletoads in under 4 minutes. When X-Ray beat the world record, they took the first place spot from a very talented runner who goes by JC. JC has been running Battletoads for about 9 years now. They recently returned to the any % no wrong warp category with the goal of taking the world record back. And on July 18th, 2023, this happened.
1, 2, good ending.
They finished the game with a time of 12 minutes, 32 seconds, and 383 milliseconds, beating the previous world record by almost 1.5 seconds. And the run was a roller coaster, losing time in stage 6 and 8, then gaining time back in 9, and getting a huge gold split in 10. They lost a little time in 12, but gained all that back and then some in the final stage to take the record back. And they did it all on a Sacred Oils controller built by Skunky48. Huge congrats to JC. I wonder if this will bring X-Ray back to the game. I'm also curious what JC is going to do next. If you don't know JC, you should definitely check him out. He's not only great at games, but he's just a good time to hang out with. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Broccoli wanted to be in here. See if he changes his mind. We recently covered a runner named Dragon Blitz who primarily runs Castlevania Symphony of the Night. For a long time, Symphony of the Night speedruns were run in Luck Mode, also known as Thief Mode. To enter Luck Mode, you must enter this sequence as your name when prompted. This mode maxes Alucard's luck stat, which increases the likelihood of rare items to drop, but it also does some interesting things to the game mechanics. The most notable change in a speedrun context is called Big Toss. Here's an excerpt from a recent Dragon Blitz video explaining the mechanic.
Whenever Alucard takes damage from more than half of his total HP, he gets sent flying indefinitely until he either hits a wall or a ceiling. This is called a big toss, and players have been abusing this damage boost for over 2 decades to fly past the cutscene where death normally takes away the player's overpowered starting gear. The thing is, skipping past death and keeping our starting gear is something that speedrunners have been able to do without needing to play in luck mode. By using a glitch called a reverse shift line, speedrunners can skip death, keep the powerful starting gear, and have way better strength and magic for the rest of the run. However, I realized that skipping death isn't the only reason to attempt this big toss in a speedrun. See, big tosses are fast. Like, really fast. After some testing, I found that utilizing 2 big tosses early in the run could save around 15 seconds in travel time.
The full video explains how Dragon Blitz recently revisited the big toss mechanic in an effort to get an earlier clock cycle, which he managed to do on his first day of attempts.
Wait, am I about to sub 7? Oh.
I wasn't preparing for this in testing.
Prior to this, runners would have to wait around for the clock to change so they could proceed with the run. Seriously, go watch the full video. It's incredibly informative and very well done. Once Dragon Blitz proved it was humanly possible to get an early clock cycle, he set out to combine this routing with his recent monster vial discovery. By July 18th, he had lowered the world record from a 1626 all the way down to a 1606. He started a stream, and it ended with this.
Well, there it is.
With a time of 15:51, he has become the first ever to achieve a sub 16-minute time in Symphony of the Night. And he's not done. You can see in his title that the current goal time is a 15:36. So he's not stopping until the world record is 50 seconds faster than his currently posted time on SRC. His Twitch link is in the description, so head on over to Twitch and show him some love, and be sure to be there as he continues to make history. There's a simple and cute homebrew game on the NES that has you platforming upward as a fish out of water, and sometimes in water. Recently, our friend Abraxas86 started a board for it on SRC, and the game is called Fish. The game looks simple and easy to pick up. Currently, Abraxas is the only runner on the board with a time of 1 minute, 1 second, and 850 milliseconds, which puts them in first. But you could be the person to change that, or at least go take second or third. Fish was a game created in just 48 hours on 6502 assembly code by a developer who goes by Voxel. While you're out of water, your health slowly decreases, so you have to get wet as often as you can and avoid traps. Now go get wet and get on that podium. This seems like a Zarkonis game. Zark, where you at? Where you at, Zark? We're looking for you. Speaking of Zarkonis, he recently returned to another great homebrew game on the NES. That game is the Great Gatsby. This is a fun little game, loosely based off the book, and it includes fun nods to games like Super Mario Bros. And Ninja Gaiden 2. Zark had the world record in the damageless category back on March 15th of 2022, but a runner named Cubbycat came in on February 15th, 2023, and took it from them by 300 milliseconds, with a time of 4 minutes, 12 seconds, 533 milliseconds. The always determined Zarkonis returned to the game, and on July 18th, 2023, they took the world record back.
We did it!
Finishing with a time of 4 minutes, 11 seconds, 517 milliseconds, they beat the previous world record by more than a second. Zarkonis now has world records in 5 of the 8 categories, and I wouldn't be surprised if he decided to make an attempt to sweep the entire board, especially right now while he's still in the Gatsby group.
I'm just so proud of coming back and getting a good shot at it like that and getting it done. And
Professor Retro recently picked up a new game. That game is Maniac Mansion on the NES. Maniac Mansion is a point-and-click adventure game developed by LucasArts for the Commodore 64, and was later ported to other consoles. Maniac Mansion is a point-and-click adventure game developed by LucasArts for the Commodore 64. Buddha, seriously? Alright, hold on. Woo! Maniac Mansion is a point-and-click adventure game developed by LucasArts for the Commodore 64, and was later ported to other consoles. Being one of the early adventure games, it helped lay the groundwork for so many amazing point-and-click adventure games, with Day of the Tentacle being a direct sequel.
But now I know that I must go back to the mansion.
Which features characters from Maniac Mansion. On July 17th, and on only their 12th attempt, Professor Retro got a huge PB. Finishing with a time of 9 minutes and 17 seconds, they are already in 15th place on the leaderboard. This journey has only just started for Professor Retro, and I look forward to seeing how low he continues to push this game. The world record currently sits at a 5 minute and 26 second time ran by NIS3, so there's some time saves in there for sure. I love running new games. It's always super fun to get those early PBs and gold splits and having no idea if you're even doing the things right.
Did I do it? Did I do it right?
And it's a fun time and always a fun journey with Professor Retro. I think I'm wearing the same thing as I did last week. Or 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm having a fun time. Arguably one of the most demanding runs on any console is Super Mario 64. With almost 9,000 runners on the SRC board, the game is incredibly optimized and super fun to watch. A streamer and runner named Beard Strength submitted their first time to SRC for the 16-star category on November 13th, 2022.
Me and Mario.
The 16-star category requires players to obtain at least 16 stars. Once they've done so, they can proceed to Bowser and finish the game. To do so, players must perform a sequence break. Normally, you need at least 70 stars to get to Bowser, but players use different methods to bypass the door and get to Bowser's stage early. This run also uses a strat called MIPS clipping. MIPS clipping uses the rabbit in the game to clip through areas. Players are also not allowed to use the single button long jump strat. Beard Strength has been off and on lowering his time in this game and this category, and on July 19th, 2023, this happened.
Yeah! Mario! Oh!
He managed to get almost a 23-second PB, lowering his time all the way down to an 18:28. We've covered Beard Strength quite a bit on this channel, and that's because he's not only a really good runner, but he's just entertaining and fun to be around. He puts a lot of time and effort into every game he chooses to run, and this game is no different. So I'm loving watching him continue to lower his time, and I look forward to seeing how low he decides to go with this. And that's what we had the time to cover this week. As always, the one thing you can't get back is your time. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. But also, take some time for yourself. Mental health is super important. Even just taking a moment to exist and just be. It can make a huge difference in your everyday life and your overall happiness. My name is Stuff is Stuff, and this has been episode 44 of Weekly Retro Stuff. If you've made it this far into the video, you know what to do. Like, comment, share the video. It really helps out a lot and helps me grow and gives me more exposure and also gives more exposure to everybody that I cover in all the episodes. I'm having a fun time. I'm still loving doing this. We're going to take it one video at a time and continue to have fun, play around with different camera angles, play around with different ideas, and just evolve and grow together. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Come on, we just got 2 more segments. I believe in you. Where y'all trying to go? Wait. Just wait for me. Just wait. Wait for me, wait.